Ever since we were kids, we've heard the same advice. Pick a lane, choose one subject, one career, one passion, and pour all your energy into being the absolute best at it. But many highly successful people sidestep that intense competition entirely. They play a different game, called skill stacking. To understand how this works, we need to map out 4 ideas: the traditional mastery trap, the hybrid advantage, real-world synergies, and finally, creating your unique profile. Once you see how these 4 concepts fit together, it changes how you look at your own career and your hobbies. Think about the traditional path to success like a professional athlete in training. They might spend decades relentlessly practicing a single well-defined physical movement, like a golf swing or a free throw. The entire goal of that intense repetition is absolute mastery. You try to become exceptionally good at one highly specific thing. This graph shows the reality of that approach for most careers. By deciding to be the top programmer or writer, you place yourself at the bottom of a massive pyramid, competing against millions trying to reach the exact same peak. Reaching the top 1% of a highly competitive skill is a matter of luck as much as effort. For the vast majority of us, playing those odds is a statistical trap. There is a more accessible route. Instead of pinning everything on a single path, you can combine 2 skills that don't traditionally overlap. This strategy works because you don't need to be world-class at either of them. You only need to be reasonably good, say above average, at both. Merging those 2 ordinary skills creates a distinct advantage that expert. Stacking 2 ordinary skills together gives you a unique edge, allowing you to invent a competitive game where you are the only player on the board. Consider how this looks in the real world. Imagine a software engineer who is perfectly average at coding, but takes the time to learn public speaking. They aren't the best programmer in their office, and they aren't winning international debate tournaments, but finding someone who can do both of those things comfortably is incredibly rare. That specific intersection makes them the ideal person to stand on stage at a major company conference and clearly explain technical concepts to a general audience. You can see this pattern in the creator of the Dilbert comic strip, Scott Adams. He built a massive career by combining a background in corporate business, a sense of humor, and relatively average drawing skills. On their own, none of those 3 traits were world-class, but stacked on top of one another, they formed a media empire. Professional success rarely comes from isolated genius in one specific area. It usually comes from the synergy of bringing unrelated abilities together. Synergy happens when one skill actively enhances and multiplies the value of another. Look at the abilities you use every day. Then ask yourself what entirely unrelated skill you could learn to plug into that mix. It could be a graphic designer who learns to analyze data, or a nurse who becomes fluent in a foreign language. The strategy is to intentionally step outside of your primary industry, find a completely different tool, and bring it back with you. When you design this intersection yourself, you build a professional profile that cannot be easily replicated by anyone else. We started by looking at why competing to be the best in a single field is a statistical trap. Then we saw how combining average abilities creates a unique hybrid advantage. Sprint pacing. We looked at how those combinations multiply your value in the real world, and we explored how you can intentionally build your own unique profile. You can stop exhausting yourself trying to be the absolute best at one single thing. By gathering a few different skills and stacking them together, you ensure that you become the only person who can do exactly what you do.